Good evening and welcome to the new episode of Roll Die for Adventure. Tonight we have a very special episode. We are playing a new game that we fell in love with. I'm Nick. I'm not your DM tonight, and I'm joined by
Ash, and I really approve of this game. Arn, playing Sean Connery's nutsack.
Shannon, playing Petunia.
We're joined by somebody very special. He's going to be running the game. And if you would like to introduce yourself now and what game we're going to be playing and what the game is about.
Hi, I am Tyson John Thatcher II, and we are playing Kill Sector, a system that I created myself and my business partner, Noah Eady. It is a gladiatorial sci-fi fantasy tabletop where anything can happen. You can make any character that you wish to make within this easy system. I'm already sounding like a fucking commercial.
Kind of. You're going to sell the game, so...
Yeah, I know. You can find us
Sean
at...
Connery's ball shack for the link.
No, we don't go to
that happen, right? I'll provide a picture of Zed from Zardoz. You can just click on his little red loincloth, and that'll take you straight to it. I don't think there's going to be any copyright issues whatsoever. It was back in the 60s or 70s. It's been a long time.
Long enough.
All right. You can find us at killsector.com. We have a official Kill Sector Discord where we are running 2 games every week, 2 to 3. And yeah, I was trying to think where else we are. We have a Discord. We have the website.
PG drive-through?
Oh, yeah. We have our Kill Sector products on drivethrurpg.com. We have some free stuff to get people started, along with some beginning products. We plan to release many more things as time is going on. We've got 2 things in the works currently that we think people are really going to be excited about. So, everyone is all set. I am ready to begin. If there's anything anyone wants to do before we start the session, I guess now would be the time, but I've got everything all good to go.
I've got a few weaknesses. I'm committed to gear. I'm overconfident. I can't crit. And the second one's a 2-pointer. It'll be a surprise. It's a very beginning.
Within the deepest depths of the cosmic ocean exist some of the most traitorous and insatiable beings in the universe. These creeps from the deep created a colossal arena known as the Dome. Within the structure lay a wrestling ring surrounded by deep water and ravenous spectators. Never having been under the stars, war wages eternally for ownership of the Deep Six Championship. You are all brought in as a new faction of outsiders that can go heel or face depending on how you play. Victory can be achieved via submission, pinfall, or if the opponent is unable to fight due to death, knockout, etc. May the ultimate gladiator become victorious. We see our 2 gladiators here, El Guano and Sean Connery's ballsack. I believe I got that right.
Yes.
Both of you find yourselves inside of Torso Aquarium's party sub, a massive submarine that also doubles as a spaceship. Very tacky and gaudy looking, neon colors, patterns up the wazoo. Nothing really matches. The interior is partially flooded. Doesn't seem to be conventional water, some kind of a strange liquid. You either sit upon your chair, stand, whatever the case. And in the middle of the room, speaking to the 2 of you, is Torso Aquarium. Pretty self-explanatory that his torso is an aquarium. And on the inside are many types of exotic fish and life forms swimming around, different kinds of mouthed anemones and lunged catfish and the such. There's a dipped bowl in the top of his head. His skin is green, kind of a greenish blue hue, and he wears an unbuttoned Hawaiian shirt showing off the aquarium in the middle of his chest. The greasy manager type approaches the two of you, looking you up and down after taking the job ready to go, en route to the dome. So guys, you know that I'm one of the only people that knows about this spot, right? You're real lucky. You're real lucky to have a pal like me with you.
It's fate. I'm the best. Only the best should be here. Of course, it's natural that I'm here.
Then what am I doing here, guys? What am I doing here?
That's a good question.
I'm not a fighter, guys. I'm a manager. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what
You
am I
must
doing
be
here.
somewhat worthy to gain the honor of fighting with me. I am Sean Connery's nutsack.
That's... God. How did I get hooked up with you?
Well, I'm trying to get a greasy crew together. I've got a little bet waging that I can throw together a crew of some strange old folk. That's what I like to do. Torso Aquarium takes the beverage in his hand and pours it in the divot in the top of his head. You see the fluid float around within the aquarium around his midsection, and the life forms in it begin to flourish and change different colors. So, we're en route. We're heading on down. We might have a few friends come along the way and hop on in, but we're heading down deep in the cosmic ocean, boys. We're heading deep in there. Now, before we finally reach this epicenter, do you have any special requests? Because it's pretty self-explanatory. I deal in money. Do you folks like money?
Yeah, money's good.
For gold.
Yeah. I can do gold. I'm just trying to see if you're one of those, I can't grant 3 wishes if you're on my belly or anything. I can't do that. But what I can do is I can grease you up to the gills. So
I can do without the grease.
I heard differently. I heard you really like that. Locker room talk.
Oh, you want it dry down there. I see. So, my friends, I will, I guess, leave you. I have a few matters to attend to. I have a few exotic new fish to get for my tank, and some people to speak to, some strange plants that I need to purchase. Yes. Anyway, I'll be doing my things. If you all succeed, then I will give you a ride back in my party sub. But if you fail, I will not give you a ride back in my party sub, and you will be stranded in the hellish abyss. But that's just how I roll, baby. So, what do you think? How do you feel?
I feel like I'm ready to kick ass.
Excellent. We're here.
Not so much. Okay.
The party sub comes to an...
Trademark. Oh, go on. Sorry.
I'm bad.
Sorry.
Would you like to rub me for good luck?
Rub you for good luck? Yeah,
There.
why not?
Is there a safe spot?
Gives a good old rub for good luck. All right. I'll see you boys off. Good luck. I'll be watching. He ends up, the door ends up opening to a very long, almost like a long mystical, primordial space slip and slide. Speckles of stars forming many winding paths with kind of one obvious destination at the far end, all the way down into the cosmic ocean. is the dome, with only one obvious entrance. So, that being said, what does the party do?
This reminds me of the shed of Zardoz. I'm pretty sure it was just the drugs.
I don't know. I think it's Thunderdome. Dude, when I worked at that video store, it's Thunderdome. Like Thunderdome.
Mel Gibson's a hack. He couldn't act his way out of a paper bag.
Okay. Guess so.
You guess wrong. You guess right.
You played the same character
me.
for 60 years? Jesus, what am I doing with you?
Maybe I should describe myself. So Sean Connery's ball sack is tiny. It's the size of a cat. It's Sean Connery's actual ball sack that has unattached himself from Sean Connery. So he's a ball sack with arms and legs, and he's covered in, of course, gray hair, pubes. He's got two kind of arms that grow out from one side of him, and they are, organically double arm gun into the weapon that he holds. He's got a third arm that kind of grows out that's actually got a hand. So he's he's a ball sack with arms and legs. And of course he's somehow got organs and eyes, but that's not part of they're in there.
Right.
Let's see that out. Extra arm. The weapon he carries, we'll get into that when we get into gameplay.
Are you susceptible to kicking?
No, I thought about that. But when you take that kind of weakness, it's awful good chance that your character will just plain die. And I figured bludgeoning damage is probably pretty common, and I don't want to have to worry about dying every time I get bludgeoned. But perhaps if I rebuild him and add some stuff, maybe I'll add that just for some flavor. So anyway, I guess I use a version of a Maori Tiaha out of the Forge book, which is a two-handed spear that you can attempt to distract people with the ornamental tip. But instead of a spear, this is John Mayer's dick that I have as a weapon, and it does bludgeoning damage instead. So, and it's two-sided, so I can hit him with either end of it. And it is a double arm weapon, so I've melded myself with it. But that is my weapon. I'm Sean Connery's ballsack wielding John Mayer's dick. I didn't have enough points to make any kind of ranged activities from it, so it's just a club right now. Gosh. A vampiric magical club.
All right.
Yeah.
So, do the two of you allow the flow of this strange, winding cosmic staircase, a sprinkle of light stardust? Do you allow yourself to come down the pole that it is bringing towards you?
Fuck yeah! In fact, I'm going first.
All right, so you're just like diving belly first, heaving on in.
I'm gonna slowly glide down behind him.
I can handle anything.
All right.
I don't really want to go into something I don't know about.
All righty. So, following the ball sack, you end up seeing that his pace is accelerating very quickly. There doesn't seem to be any harm coming to the sack, but its acceleration is raising drastically. Many ripples coming off due to the G-forces and whatnot. Although it is in space, there are some strange gravitational properties within the cosmic ocean. Many strange colors that could only be perceived within dream hang overhead in a strange, splotchy, watercolored fashion. Being whisked away with a faint gliding behind the partner, you eventually find your way over to the dome. As it comes closer within view, it seems it is just that. A large, semi-see-through dome, possibly made of either a magic material, a rare element, or something of the likes. Within, a wrestling ring. And you can already hear the sounds of the spectators, the people in the stands, the fights going on. The volume is already reaching the ears. After taking the very specifically assigned road, you are going to be all slowly whisked around as you will make your way to the outskirts of the dome. Upon reaching over there, you will find some stable ground. Something a lot more stable, unlike the strange, more abstract aspects you have been moving your way through. At this point, everything seems reasonably blank. There don't really seem to be too many people to greet you outside of the sounds of anguish and victory within the arena within.
Holy shit, dude, this is the best thing ever.
Is it the best? I saw you vegetate back there.
Our ring does not compare to this awesome spectacle that we're about to enter. We spent $5 on it.
Off in the distance, you can see someone who either received an uppercut or a similar type move kind of go flying through, absolutely flying, careening through the air and slowly disintegrating as he gives off a final wail. Everything being broken down, lastly seeing the skull and the spine like a lollipop in a candy store being broken into pieces at the very end.
Okay, never mind. Oh, shit. Never mind.
Don't worry, I'll protect you.
I'm just gonna hang out with you. I'm not doing this.
You're gonna do it, damn it.
Our
follow
matches
me.
are fake, dude. Our matches are fake. This is real. I'm not doing this. How much money am I supposed to make for this?
Buck up, little camper.
I'm here, so yeah, let's do this. I don't want to do it.
Greeting the two of you, the first being the two of you end up seeing, looks to be some kind of a mech with what looks to be a crescent-shaped melon at the center, floating inside of a matrix of steel. As this bizarre structure begins to hobble its way towards you with its 4 compressing legs, the melon is going to swirl around, getting as close to your faces as it can without intruding too much, or what would be your faces. So,
Take a good look.
are you
like what
guys?
you see?
What's that, partner?
Partner?
Now,
I haven't fought alongside a melon for years.
yeah, you know, always sweet. Sweet to the bitter end, right to the rind. Every time, my friend.
Always
So-
sweet until it's left out in the sun for too long. Now I'll let you both know I'm in charge here. What I say goes, and I'll keep you both alive.
So, what I'd like to do, I would like to bring the two of you indoors, get to check out the arena for a second. I've got some folks that would love to interview the two of you, so we can at least briefly get to know you in case this is the last you got to say. The two of you are going to be guided deeper within, going to the back of the arena. So, heading towards the backstage area, if you will. There seems to be a few different characters hanging around in the back. A lot of different strange body plans by comparison to what you might be used to. Not too many of the basic humanoid structure to be found, and anything like that, there's strange alterations. When you arrived here, you noticed that there was no sun, no stars, nothing of the sort. Similar things in light sources and stardust, but no major core of energy. Everyone seems to be especially ravenous and gritty.
What do you make of this?
Make a what?
Useless.
This
Useless.
is insane. Dude, this is insane. How? I'm just gonna shut up and go back to behind you. It's where I don't have to look at that thing. Okay? Just going back there and this is crazy. This is crazy. Oh, and Shannon is here. I don't know if she's coming in yet, but she said she didn't want to interrupt.
Okay, I can have someone else jump in now. Definitely. Because at this point, we have the backstage area. We have two of our gladiators making their way in, getting all set up for interviews, and I feel like there'll be a few more back here, whether they're along with Torso Aquarium's plan or not. He had a few more to kind of send over, so I feel like, if need be, we can introduce another character. If not, we can keep things going, but right now would be a good time.
We can keep going until she shows up.
All right. There we go. So, the two of you are being brought around to a backstage area, and it looks like they're trying to set you up for some interviews, at least trying to get to know your characters and your personalities. It looks like they're setting up other devices so that they can broadcast this, like, within the arena and around in some local areas. A lot of the devices look much different. There's some very strange apparatuses and stones and crystals, things being arranged. Almost more ritualistic or magic than a technology basis. Eventually, the melon with the strange entanglement, the metal mass around it, is going to have the two of you set up, drinks, coffee, whether you want it spiked or not. Beers, whatever the situation, like any kind of beverages and comfortability.
Is there smoking in this area?
Yes.
Okay, so off in the dark corner by herself, you see a hooved, lipless, horned, red, demon lady kind of eyeballing you while she's somehow smoking a cigarette even though she has no lips.
She reminds me of my first wife. Better stay away from her, little man bat.
Do I know that these two are going in alone?
I would say we could have it where if you want, you could be in with them off of the same kind of situation, or you could be in this for your own game. That's totally up to you.
What are they in it for?
They are in it for a lot of money. They're taking an assignment from Torso Aquarium, who has promised them to grease them up to the gills.
Okay, let's say that I overheard that, and I can see the little bat guy with the jitters, and I'll approach. Say, I haven't figured out a voice, so let me workshop this. Yeah, good evening, gentlemen.
What's up, Red?
I have a terribly shrill voice.
Everybody's red.
Grates my very soul.
My name is Petunia, but you can call me Red.
Yeah.
I hear that you're going into the arena by yourselves.
Yeah. You're gonna make a lot of money.
In these parts, you may not want to share that information. However, if you cut me in, I can help.
What do you bring to the table? Yeah.
Well,
my friend here's a talking rodent with wings.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
Whatever you got, I'm sure it'll be sufficient.
I'll throw my arms open and be like, look at me.
I mean, what are we looking for?
Exactly.
Do you not think I have anything to offer?
You don't have a mouth.
All the better to eat you with.
Huh?
What?
Oh, she's gonna just roll her eyes and turn around and start walking away.
Oh, come back. We need your help. I don't know about this ball sack guy. Oh,
I mean, I don't think we need her
anything
help.
goes.
But you probably need her help.
I want to live.
You are pretty fleshy. You're going to get pretty cut up in there.
A lot of hair.
I'm thinking about finding a bookie to put my bet against him surviving the first round.
Oh,
Just
you're talking
cut
about
me in.
Right.
25% of your take.
Okay. Come on me. Let's do it.
25% of his take?
The
Done.
entire take.
Oh, that'll leave 25% for you, Batman.
And that. Oh, alrighty. Nope. El Guano. God, just remember that. El
Guano.
Batshit.
Batshit.
Right.
Da 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 da! Petunia has joined the party.
All right. So much of the gear begins to get set up for the interviews. The three of you will be interviewed separately, but can answer the same questions. Yeah, it looks as though a few people manning some devices are going to come in, and the interviewer is about to enter. So after some time, enters a figure. Looks like a massive grin floating in the air, pair of eyes. Kind of white silken gloves on the hands, business suit. Very strange looking fella, kind of a Cheshire Cat vibes with the face. He's going to make his way around, getting closer to everybody. He is going to morph his hands into 3 different microphones, floating close to everyone's faces. I've got some questions for the 3 of you. And I'll say them quick, and I'll say them smooth, and we'll be done in a jiffy. So, what brings you to the arena? What makes you want to fight?
Well, I left Sean Connery in 1996 after The Rock. His choice for taking first night never set well with me. And I knew he was planning on taking that shit movie Avengers show. I left and we parted ways. I entered into a poorly conceived throuple with Vince Neil and Nicolas Cage. One thing led to another. It was a life of debauchery and drugs. I ended up fighting on the underground scene, trying to score that next hit of whatever it was I was taking, which led me to the gladiatorial life, which has ultimately led me here. Along the way, I made many friends and saw many friends die, usually because they didn't listen to what I said, which would have been advisable. I met up with John Mayer. His dick decided to join me, and together, we fight for glory and money, and eventually, something else. So I think that's about it, right?
I believe that movie was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh no, I left him far before that piece of shit.
Let me tell you something, brother. When I get in the ring, I only have one thing to do. Kick ass, or actually just run away. That's what I do. I am the mouth of the Midwest. Mouth of the Midwest. I will talk your ear off until you are bored and die. I take your money.
You're good at your job.
Very good at my job. Don't mess around with the mouth of the Midwest.
I just like the sight of blood and gore.
Yeah.
All right. Blood and gore. I can feel y'all with that. So, my second question I have for the 3 of you is, what do you fear? What will your greatest challenge be? What do you worry about losing in the arena? Do you fear?
Well, I fear this man-bat and psycho lady are going to drag me down because I'm the best. I also fear that they're not going to do everything I say since my decisions are always the right ones. And, I hope to gain plenty of glory and probably all the money once they're dead.
Let me tell you something, brother. I enter this ring, the only fear I have is not walking out again. It happens a lot. Challenges? Keeping my wings attached to my back is the main challenge I'm going to have. And 2, 3, losing. I could stand to lose this ball sack. Maybe not John Mayer's ball, Dick, but yeah, the ball
you're
sack
talking about me. I thought you were talking about your own. I figured maybe there was some under that fur somewhere. I can't see it, obviously.
They're inside, dude. That's why my voice keeps changing like this. Getting scared and they're going inside.
I don't fear much, but I do fear small children. They're incredibly innocent, and it just skeeves me out. I'm afraid I'll lose my money. That's about it.
So, at this point, I would like the 3 of you to have the floor, one at a time. I would like each of you to shoot a promo from the heart to give a lasting impact to the audience that can hear you roaring off in the arena.
I'm Sean Connery's ballsack. The best part of Sean Connery. And I'm going to take John Mayer's dick and beat my way to the top. And you all are invited to watch me in awe. It'll be a great pleasure for you. That is all.
Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. Fans from every dimension in the world, I am the greatest wrestling manager of all time. I will stand behind my wrestlers until they're defeated or knocked out or dead, and then I'm taking off with all their money. Get new wrestlers come in and fight for me. Maybe I'll just... It'll be awesome! Watch my wrestlers die, and I'll take all their money. Brothers and sisters.
Hello, people out there watching this. I'm Petunia. And the fact that I don't care if you like me makes you love me. So watch as I decimate everybody. That's it.
All right. So from there, the interview station is going to start to pull back. Everyone is going to be ushered over to the gorilla position, right over behind the stage, getting ready to come on out. So at this point, all of you are being told by many of like the hands on deck working on things, ring boys, whatever the case, seem to be letting you know that, hey, do you guys know what you want to do for an entrance? Bunch of different strange critters and whatnot seem to be telling you to start getting ideas about how you want to come on in. So yeah, it looks like you were being ushered over to that area, and you can start to hear more of the proceedings out in the arena. Looks like there's a very large event, pay-per-view style, going on. The stands are absolutely filled out. Everyone's going nuts. And... Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, no, go ahead.
It looks like they're gonna begin to announce the opponents coming in. So it looks like there's like a big old thing going on. And yeah, you know what? At this point, you all can make your entrances to the ring. Actually, yeah. We can do that. So, whoever wants to go first is free to do so. It looks like everything's like firing off. There's like a short video package at the beginning that looks as though a sum up of the situation is chance for like a title shot, an opportunity. There's like a foreign faction coming in. There's like a few boos off of that. You know, already a little bit of foreign heel heat that might need to work through. People want to be baby faces. Like, there already seems to be that kind of an angle cut towards the group, like a lot of demonizing. There's There's many shots of El Guano that aren't that flattering to make him look a lot more demonic. Lots of shots of like him and then his shadow being much larger. Different things like that. Different like unflattering angles and like incriminating photos. Trying to paint the crew to be like foreign heels, but also like a cult, like something where it's like, oh, this group dabbles with stuff we don't mess with around. But yeah, it looks as though faction on faction warfare, and the winning faction is going to be put in a handicap match against the champion. No one has been able to dethrone what this figure is. There looks to be like a big silhouette like presented. Like it's very hard to perceive and understand who the champion is. Like right now he's very shrouded in the video packages. There just looks to be a big, very large, bulky humanoid figure kind of marching around and wearing the title, but nothing more shown than that. And after that, things will go silent before people can make your entrances. While making your entrance, describe what kind of music is playing, how you're coming on in, and then like the very brief thing you're saying when you get to the ring, if you want something to say when you enter the ring. You know, kind of like a chance to interact with the crowd, see what your reaction is.
Come on, Arn, you have to play Stroke It. You're going out there. Stroke me.
I hate Billy Squire.
The character doesn't. He loves him.
He loves Billy Squire. So as loud as the speakers can play it with huge amounts of bass for such a baseless song. Billy Squire's Stroke It plays. What's the melody again? I don't even remember.
Stroke me, stroke me.
Stroke! Okay.
Stroke.
All right. And then I'll fly in on a jetpack, just like from the movie Thunderball. Flying in high above the crowd and slowly descending to wherever it is I am needing to descend to. And once I land on the ground with my little tiny ball sack legs that are covered in thigh-high leather boots, just like the movie Zardoz, I'll drop the jetpack nonchalantly behind me like a hot mic. And I'll walk up and I'll grab the microphone and I will say, Highlander 2 was not my idea. I got roped in. I had nothing to do with it.
There's going to be a cheer back from the audience after a pause. There will be a little bit of a pop for that. There was a little bit of confusion on your entrance, a bit of like kind of a mixed reaction, but after that, they responded properly.
So the theme from the first Batman movie from 1989 starts really loudly. The rope is thrown from up above the rafters, and it lands in the middle of the ring. Uh-oh, something went wrong. And a dark, shadowy figure flies down, and about 10 feet above the ring does a 360 turn, or a 180 turn, and things fly out, and he just lands in the middle of the ring. That's right! That's right, I'm here! I'm here for business! I'm gonna take you out, and you out, and you out! Probably for dinner. Ha! I do! I got money! Money, 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 money!
So you seem to get a decent reaction. The reaction towards El Guano seems to be the type of reaction towards more of a comedy gimmick. They seem to be getting a lot of laughs out of the persona. As much as it seems like one of those money-driven manager personas, they seem to like how this one is presented. All right, so both of you want to be as close to the center as you can? All right.
Well, I'm going to take the exact center, and if this man-bat tries to move me at all, I'm going to bump him away with one of my massive ball thighs.
I'm just going to be floating above you.
Oh, yeah. I can handle that.
All
Don't
right.
drop any guano on me.
The wind, like, cool you down. I don't want those to get sticky.
You're causing my luxurious pube hair to flow around like I'm hit with a wonderful breeze. It's very breathtaking. I appreciate it. Maybe you're good for something.
Much to the audience delight, as we're witnessing these pubes, all the lights in the arena go down. And a fog machine starts rolling from the entrance, and the spotlight hits them, and you start to hear old-style church organ music from, like, Castlevania. And in walks Petunia, and she's got her whip out. She's cracking it with the electricity on. She walks up to the mic, and she says, "I am your doom." And then she stands next to them with her arms crossed, like she doesn't give a shit.
Hey, Man Bat, she really hates microphones.
Doesn't have a mouth, dude.
Younger members of the audience seem to be a little bit terrified, trying to hide amongst their parents or elders. There's a lot of open-mouthed, wide-eyed awe upon your entrance. Once the party makes their way over getting to the center of the ring, the path that everyone took to get there is going to collapse, and it is now going to be visual how vast the water is around everyone. The amount of water surrounding the ring is about, let's see here, 8 times the amount of the ring itself. The ring itself being, let's see here, I believe it is 10 by 8 squares, so that's 50 by 40 feet, just to get things into perspective. So the ring is in the center, and then surrounded is just vast amounts of water. Closer to actual water next to the other things seen in the cosmic ocean and the fluids that Torso Aquarium had on his sub and within himself. Once everyone makes their entrance, next is going to be the challengers. So, firstly, coming in over on the side, there is going to be a really, really big boat is going to all of a sudden kind of show up. It's going to look to be at least like a 40-foot like yacht kind of structure. And it's going to come rising out of the water, cruising along. There's jazz music playing. It's a little bit jazzy. It's like a James Bond. It's like a Bond movie theme, but like a little bit jazzier. And on the boat is going to be a bathrobe wearing humanoid wrestler. He seems to be the first human that has been seen so far and the only one. He's doing a little bit of a boogie-woogie dance on the side of his expensive yacht. The audience is booing this person to high heavens. They're getting booed all over the place. And being announced, the scum of the earth! We have right here, Nigel! And, he's flaunting his bathrobe, curling around his chest hair, shining his bald head, observing himself. But, in one of his arms seems to be some kind of a large anchor or rocket launcher. There is some kind of a weaponized device in his hand, and that's what the audience seems to be not really liking him like as much for, having that kind of a conventional weapon. So he's just doing his thing, hand gestures to the audience, looking like he is gonna try to throw his money but doesn't, tries to like psych him out. He's gonna continue his thing like over on the side. Next, there is going to be a new video package coming up on the Titantron. It looks to be some kind of strange humanoid beneath the waves. There's more of these kind of silhouette vignette scene, shadowy figure pacing through the water. Different kinds of strange sounds. However, it doesn't look like anyone comes out. And after a little bit of time, they transition over to the next entrance. So lastly, playing over the speaker seems to be some kind of really loud, repetitive, earworm, new metal kind of track. Very, very, very chuggy. Kicks in. Walking out looks to be a very large anthropomorphic mosasaur. So a large, big-mouthed prehistoric reptile. However, encrusting around the outside of his body seems to be some kind of partial exoskeleton. On his body, he is wearing what looks to be something close to a business suit with the sleeves ripped off. Moving his way through the ropes, it is very obvious this is a big man. And he seems to square directly up very close, about 5 feet away from Sean Connery, Zach, and El Guano.
I think he likes me, El Guano. You better leave this one for me.
Yeah,
No problem.
it's very tall. You
take that
flying
guy that
above,
didn't show.
are you flying above Sean Connery's sack? Both of you together is around the height of this figure, like standing just himself. And yeah, he's fully going to make his way out up to everyone. He ends up grabbing the microphone. My name is Mr. M, and they call me Mr. M because I got a big old mouth. And I gotta fill it with things. I gotta fill it with victims. I gotta fill it with food. And I gotta fill it with protein. Oh yeah. And I'll be picking fools out of my teeth for weeks when I'm done with this fresh batch. Now before I'm done reaping the fresh crop of this week, you folks got a death sentence to write. And it will be the last death sentence you ever write. Because, yeah. The audience has a little bit of a confused response, but they eventually do respond to him. He does a few more promos around in circles until eventually just kind of like giving up, putting the mic away. The bell is going to ring, ding, 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 and it is the player turn. Due to one of the enemies being on a ship, not knowing where the other one is, and this guy still in the midst of rambling.
The only thing going into your mouth, Mr. M, it's going to be a giant tea bag. Compliments of me.
All right, so what kind of an attack would you like to use?
An aerial attack, or are you just going to jump down on him?
Me?
From
I
above?
gotta charge him. I guess I'm going
Yourself
first, people. I guess he's at the edge of the ring, so if I'm in the middle, I should be able to get to him with a movement of 6, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah? All right. Well, I guess we'll go up there, and I'm going to take... I got a double-ended on John Mayer's dick here, and I'm going to swing at him twice.
Okay.
And I'm being attacked by a cat. They're going to go nuts over these dice. It's going to be terrible. So, they love dice.
Are they made out of tuna?
You'd think. The first roll is an 86. Now, I've min-maxed the shit out of John Mayer's dick. And with 2 hits, they'd be at plus 30 each, taking into account the minus 10. So, yeah.
All right.
Oh, and the second. Should I do one at a time? How do you like to do it?
Yeah, I would say. So how many ended it is? Is double ended?
It's double ended.
All right. So you're going for 2 strikes? Yeah. I would say roll for the other one as well.
And the other one, I got a 97. So
that second one. That second one is a crit, which means that second one can either do ×2 damage, or you can do normal damage in like a special effect, such as oh, I want him to like trip or different like weird effects.
Fortunately, I can't crit. I'm so good. I don't need to crit.
All right. So I will say running forward, you're gonna get that first strike. It looks like it's gonna make contact. You swing it in, but it seems as though an unseen barrage stops the force of your first attack. But
bitch.
At the last minute, at that opening, right after that unseen force does its thing, seemingly something Mr. M did, you get that second flip. You get that flip around, that combo move. And that will absolutely sink in completely. Give me some damage.
Get a taste of John Mayer's dick. 19 damage.
All right. So yeah, just big old, just gets kind of slapped down with it. Does a cool thing to try to stop, and then just gets like kind of flopped around for a minute.
I'm just warming up. I will take a swift action. I think it's swift, and an attempt to distract him with the ornamental tip of John Mayer's penis.
All right.
So this is the Maori Tiaha spear thing, and you can attempt to distract. It's affliction 100 to reduce his evasion by 5 until the beginning of my next turn.
All right.
Do I roll that?
It
probably won't work, but I rolled an 84. It's affliction 100.
So you rolled. All right, so you rolled an 84 plus 100, and Mr. M unfortunately does have more health than that. Mr. M looks to be very hardy. So that will not work, unfortunately. But you do waggle it around a little bit, and the audience pops a bit, and there's like a few laughs and jeers and pointing, like, "Oh, look at that!"
Hey, sweet titch. You might want to look away when I dingle John Mayer's membrane. Otherwise, you might become enthralled with the manhood.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Who else here would I refer to as sweet titch?
Well, I'm so goddamn skinny and bony I don't have any tits. I'm like beef jerky, bitch.
That's good to know.
So, El Guano has the ability to use sonar with sight. And I think he's going to wonder why... Hey, we're that invisible. There's somebody in here. And he's supposed to be out here, so I'm going to use my powers to figure out if he's out here or not.
All right. I would say give me a perception roll to like try to pinpoint where a third person could be.
76.
How much?
76?
96?
76.
Okay. So, using your echolocation, you're trying to pinpoint if there's any kind of an extra person, and with the echolocation, you really zoom in, and you're like, all right, that's Mr. M, that's me, partners, okay, bunch of water, all right, nothing there. There's something. You notice that there's someone under the ring. Beneath the ring seems to be that extra person. You can pinpoint exactly where the target is. You're not sure exactly what, but it definitely seems like extra target, wrestler, that was the description.
Okay, and for a swift action, I am going to unleash Terrifying, which is 3 squares around me.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if there's anybody that close.
Yep, Mr. M's that close.
All right. Got Affliction 0. Well, he has to make Affliction 0, be terrified for the next turn.
I'm thinking it's probably best to attack the same Mr. M, get rid of him.
I mean, I've weakened him for you considerably.
I am going to use my whip reach. So I roll the attempt first, right?
Yep.
Okay, now here's the funny thing about me. I can't roll. I got 8 out of 100.
Okay, so that's going to be trying to get like a good. You would try to get a few good cracks on Mr. M, but it seems whether it's not the right reach, the way that Mr. M's pivoting his body just kind of like bounces off the musculature and the exoskeletons, and Mr. M just gives like a bit of a flex as like a few whip cracks kind of bounce off his body.
Oh, Shannon, I'm a little disappointed. I would have expected a critical fail for your first roll of the game.
I'm gonna look at Mr. M and say, I'm just getting warmed up.
So you can also try to move or and do a swift action if you want.
Okay, I didn't... What's the swift action? Sorry.
Swift action, that would be like reloading, stealth check, perception check, knowledge check.
I think I'm probably okay right now.
Okay. All right. So, has everyone done what they want to do? Seems like it. All right. So, we are going to have the enemies go now. Alrighty. So, Mr. M is going to go first. Mr. M is going to take a 5-foot step back, give a big old flex, and give a massive onslaught, a barrage of fists to the square in front of him. Now, none of his fists seem to make any contact with the party, but in front of where he's doing his barrage of fists, that similar unseen force is going to just barrage the entire party. Just a massive storm of fists is going to rain over the group. Let's see here. Due to the nature of the attack, everyone being trained to a certain regard, everyone is only going to take half damage from this. So whether it be flying around, blocking, evading, what have you, you find one way or another to reduce some of the damage of this attack. But the flurry is so fast and so quick and so mighty, you are all affected by at least some of it. Okay. So that is going to be... Alright. So everyone is going to receive 50 bludgeoning damage. As a massive barrage onslaught of strikes are received. After doing that, Mr. M is going to charge forward, and it looks like he is going to try to grab. Let's see here. I think he's going to try to go right now for El Guano and the sack. So hang on. I got to see if these hit. That hits. That hits. So, Guano and the sack, both of you can give me rolls to try to stop this from happening. Both of you are getting grabbed in a chokeslam type position right now and trying to be restrained. Both of you can make an attempt to kind of swat away, roll out of it, what have you.
61.
Okay.
Or we can't hear you.
No one can hear me?
I'm here.
Arnie was on mute.
I'm tiny, so I do have an evasion of 70. But for my deep...
you ended up being grabbed. He has modifications for his accuracy. Very accurate fella. But what did I'm sorry, I forget what else. What did you get for a grapple check?
Can I use improvised counter to counter the grapple?
Yes, you can.
All right, now my improvised counter is my signature attack. So it cancels out some negatives, but... Oh shit, I rolled an 88. And then, even though that improvised counter takes 25 off. With signature attack and my normal bonuses, I would be at plus 25% to that 88.
Oh yeah, so you definitely hit.
Excellent.
All right, so that's going to be countering with your sword, right?
With John Mayer's Jick for 27 damage.
All right. So going for a grapple, like one on each of you. One of the grapples goes towards you. Just swat it away with the wang. You're fine. The second grab is going to go towards El Guano, and I just want to see if he is going to break the grapple or not. Somehow El Guano does break the grapple. Just kind of like flying a bit upward. He doesn't have that good of a grip, trying to get a weird follow-up, and you manage to just slink away just in the fucking nick of time. Mr. M's going to be kind of angrily shaking his fists around, that he wasn't able to continue up his turn. After that's going to complete Mr. M's turn. Mr. M's going to Hulk out. Now over here we got Nigel on his party boat. So Nigel is going to run over to the side. It looks like he's going to aim up his large anchor rocket launcher mechanism, and it looks like he is targeting the group at large. You can hear the audience raining boos down right now. Like he's like modulating different things on his weapon, like really zeroing in, trying to optimize like his distance. And that is going to complete Nigel's turn, but it does look as though Nigel has a complete lock on every member of the party. Many little modulars were hit, and the audience is not happy about it. And he's leaning back on a lawn chair on his yacht, just twiddling away at his weapon. And yeah, the unseen wrestler has not made itself visual.
Hey everyone, I think we need to concentrate on that bathrobe-wearing Baldylocks on the party barge. Man-bat, take a whack.
Oh, Guano! Wait a second, I got something I need to take care of. There's something
Petunia
under us that needs to be taken care of.
Ignore that!
You know what I mean?
Guapo!
Down under?
Follow my lead!
What?
I'm going to take a move action. Oh, go on. I'm going to take a move action to go towards Nigel on his party barge.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right.
Would I be able to get in within range? I guess I should ask that
I
first.
could move you 1, 2,
I have reach.
3, 4, 5. I can move you 5 squares, which will bring you right to the edge closest to the barge. You can get that extra square movement, but that extra square movement means you're in the water. Do you want to be in the water?
I'd rather not, but I do have reach on John Mayer's penis.
All right. The barge from where you are is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares away.
Shit! So how far away is John Mayer total?
So John Mayer gives you the reach. So if I add with your reach, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares away.
So I should be able to get him without going into the water. Is that true?
Well, I mean like after you move. After like if you decide to move like over there, then yeah, it's still going to be 5 away in the water.
Okay. I'm going to change my tactic then, knowing that I won't be able to get near him.
Okay.
You guys have to get rid of him before his weapon does its thing. And I guess I'm going to stand here and try to fight Mr. M again with 2 more swings.
Okay.
The first swing is a critical fail, an aught 3, so not a bad fail, right? But a fail.
Okay, so that one is a 3. All right. So that one you go in for the you are going for the sword strike, and he's going to attempt to hit you with a spinning back elbow. And an 84 should hit. And let's see the damage output on that. All right. Okay, that is only going to be 26 electric damage. As during your move and your Russian, you're going to take a spinning back elbow for your troubles.
All right.
When you, so that being said, after crit fails like that, it's usually the end of your turn after that. So,
got it.
Unfortunately, after taking that elbow, that's going to stop your momentum like dead in its tracks. Just like, ugh.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Would it be a swift action to take my pistol out? Okay, I'll do that. And then, that's got a reach of 12 squares,
yep,
so I want to move
right where you
close
are.
enough
Close
to
enough,
hit
Yep.
Nigel. Alright, so I am going to fire.
What happened? You got a 1?
Oh my god!
Oh,
There's Shannon.
I got a 1.
Okay.
No!
So what's gonna happen there is you're gonna have your pistol. You're gonna be lining up the sights right on Nigel. Nigel doesn't even see you do it, and you're like, "I got you, son of a bitch." He's right in the sights. But as soon as you turn around, Mr. M's gonna be right behind you. And Mr. M is basically gonna pick you up and just sidewalk slam you like into the ground, basically. So just like pick up under the arm with one arm, a jump in the air, like straight to the floor. So he's successfully gonna pull this off. I guess give me a grapple check to try to avoid this, but it's gonna be very difficult. Yeah.
Does that roll on 100 again?
Unfortunately, that won't be enough. So you do what you can of like
We're
trying to
going
like
up.
get out of it. And yeah, he's just gonna bring you down. Let's see the damage. All right, so that's gonna be minimal. All right, you receive 100 fire damage.
Oh.
As you are driven down.
I am
Also,
not
you
your
will be
doom.
prone. But yeah, rolling ones is usually not very good. It could have been worse, but yeah, you just like aimed the gun, turned around, grabbed, scoop, slam.
I was expecting you to explode
Yeah,
my gun in my
there's,
hand.
like-
That's literally the
Yeah,
only
it's
way I
something
get
where
Nigel.
sometimes stuff like that works, but like narratively, I was like, oh wait, this could totally work because you're so focused on aiming at Nigel, like right behind you is Mr. M, and he just goes for a, yeah. So yeah, I thought I'd do that. I thought it'd be a little fun. Okay.
I
Let's see
appreciate it.
here.
One crit fail.
So now, yeah, everyone in the party went, right?
No.
Guano
no,
is going
haven't.
to,
Guano.
he's still in the air, he's going to land outside the ring. And with a swift motion, he's going to reach underneath the tarp and pull out his quantum scatter blaster
Mhm.
and fire underneath to the guy that's underneath.
Okay, so you're gonna move around, you're gonna move into position right over there, you're gonna aim it right underneath and fire. Okay, so that's your move, the swift, and the standard. Okay, so I will say, give me a perception roll as you like flip around beneath the water to try to locate him.
21.
21. Okay, so considering how good you did with it before, I will say you're able to know the pretty much like the estimate location. You're not 100%, but you're like, okay, I see the figure. The figure doesn't look like it can see you, and it looks like you can try to attempt to get an open shot at it. All weapons seems as though they should function fine under this water. There might be some slight differences in the variables, but nothing major.
73.
I'm sorry, how much?
73.
All right. So, you end up giving like that blast beneath the water. It's very difficult to tell with a bit of a squint. You're trying to tell, like, did I hit it? Did I not? There's a bit of sediment that was like kicked up. It's really hard to tell, like, if contact was made, but a shot definitely went off and something was hit. Nothing moved, nothing wailed, nothing wriggled. So it's kind of hard to tell, but it seems as though if you like keep at it, you'll be able to like fully locate. But I will say that will be your turn between going over, getting under the ropes, perception, and then firing a shot. But each turn you continuously do it, and also because of the crit the first time around, each time it's going to be easier and easier to locate this target. All right, so enemy turn. Alrighty. So let's see here. What is Mr. M going to do? Alright, so Mr. M is going to see what's going on over there. Real quick, what is everyone's evasion? Just so I'm 100% on it.
70.
50.
18.
Let's see here. Wait a minute, Guano. What did you say your evasion was?
Rolled an 18. His evasion is a 50, though.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to figure out. That's all. Yeah, I was trying to figure out.
I thought you said 15. I was like, what?
So, let's see here. So first thing that's going to happen. And so Nigel on his boat, he's going to give a few joking mannerisms like, oh, I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to do it. Oh, I'm going to do it. He's going to try to psych out the audience a few times and just kind of like messing around with it. He's going to get on his lounge chair, put on his sunglasses, and he's going to fire the device. And upon firing it, it looks as though it was some kind of a projectile anchor weapon that is attached to his body almost cybernetically or magically by a large chain intertwined and wrapped around his spinal column. And the more that it extends, the more obvious this becomes. And the weapon is going to slam down around the epicenter of the party. Okay. Oh, that's good. That's pretty good. Okay.
That doesn't sound good.
So the weapon gets fired off. It looks like it is headed towards like the heart of like the group of the party. And it's going to like arc around at the last minute and like not look too good. And like pretty much just short of the party, you are going to see this object like make a heavy impact to which everyone was just on the outer reaches of possibly being damaged. The enemy got this specific enemy cannot crit failure, but he rolled a crit failure, which just means it was an absolute miss. Absolute miss. But it did come close, and it looks like if that were to make impact, it wouldn't have been pretty. It looks like he's going to continue to mess with his weapon. He's going to look a little bit frustrated, and he's going to head to the canopy upper area of his structure. And after this, we will have Mr. M. Now, what's Mr. M going to do? All right. So, Mr. M He's going to try to spear the sack. 94 hits, I imagine.
I'm going to try to improvised counter.
Okay.
All right, 94. I need to roll pretty high. So, reaction is minus 25. So my bonus would go to plus 15, plus 25. Okay, so I got an +2.
Oh, no. So, I imagine you try to pull a
How's
last-minute
it going
counter,
over there,
but you just
Shannon?
take, like, a hard spear.
John
So
Mayer's
hard
shtick is failing me.
You receive 93 beam damage.
All right, so that will kill me. However,
No.
I have Die Hard. So
Nice,
once per
there you
gauntlet,
go.
when something would kill me, it instead leaves me with 1 hit point.
So you receive a nasty spear kind of tackle that turns you almost like inside out, just like flips you around a few times like midair. Just looks absolutely nasty. It'll actually bring you prone at the end of it. But, like whether it's a thumbs up you give, a noise you make, whatever the case, there's still a breath, there's still a bit of life. Like the tiniest bit of life after taking that spear. Mr. M is going to slam the palms of his hands down on the mat after realizing that you lived that maneuver. Just thought it was going to do the job.
Oh, your body's a wonderland.
It took me a second.
Billy John Mayer
How
song, I
long
know.
were you holding on to that one?
All right. So that being said, it is now the player turn.
Hey,
Come on, Mr. One Hit Point.
Petunia's gonna get up off the
Yep,
ground.
Yep. Petunia gets up off the ground.
That's a swift action, right?
All right.
I'm going to try and shoot Nigel again. We'll see how it goes.
All right. So
It's been nice, guys.
Do your
25.
best to like aim it at Nigel directly, trying to get like a big beat on him. Let me see here. I want to check. Yeah, that actually will hit Nigel. Nigel has 20 evasion. So considering you're aiming at him specifically, and he went to the
Wow.
canopy, where it's a little bit easier to hit him, but some of his stuff works better, you will manage to hit him with the shot.
Woohoo! That's average piercing,
All right.
so
So that's a
I rolled
good
75.
shot right in the chest. You'll see Nigel like fall to a knee, give out like a grunt. That looked like a real good, solid, direct shot. He's going to use guns, you use them right back.
So it looks like Petunia's smiling at him, but you can't quite tell because she
Alright.
doesn't have lips.
Sean Connery's ball sack will go, unless you wanted to go, Nick.
Go ahead.
All right, Sean Connery's ball sack will take a move action to flip himself up with style, kind of like a martial art thing. He looks pretty banged up,
So,
and
so
he's
what
going to try to
happened?
take. What's that?
I gotta resolve this really quick. So what happens is, as you kick up, that is going to provoke for Mr. M, but because of your evasion, he tries to go for a clothesline from hell. Real hard one. But with the timing, you duck underneath it, like the timing of your kick out, just right. You make it over that. He does not get that move off, and you manage to kick yourself up nice.
I mean, of course, that's how it happens.
It
Once
was
I'm
by
up,
2.
I'll make a tiny flourish, like I totally anticipated beating him, and we're gonna try to beat him with 2 sides of John Mayer's dick. The first attack will be a 76.
That will hit.
And the second attack will be a 105.
All right. What was the base on the 105?
Oh shit, 75.
Okay. Yeah. Both of those will hit. So I will say similar kind of thing happens. It looks like that Mr. M is accessing some kind of defensive capability to block out the. But this time it's a block out of the second hit instead of the first hit. So you will manage to get that first one in nice and swift. But he's going to see the second one coming and block it out. It looks like Mr. M is trying to use some defensive capabilities. But due to you doing continual hits, one of yours does manage to absolutely get through.
Perfect. I need some damage. 54 damage, which is vampiric, so I will heal 54.
All right. Nice. So that second one you notice gets in good, and it looks like you are chipping away some of his defensive capabilities, some of his perfect defense. It seems he's is trying to use against some of your strikes. Awesome.
Hey, El Guano!
What?
I've given you one chance. Quit trying to fight those phantom figures that you think that you see, and target that bald guy on the boat before he kills us all. Or else.
My plan! I was gonna do that before you opened your giant mouth. I'm the mouth here. Let me do the talking. And he whips the gun around and aims right at the boat, or the guy, Nigel on the boat, and he rolls a 37.
All right, that'll hit Nigel.
Yes.
And a 74.
All right. So, after taking another really hardy shot, it looks like Nigel is not looking too good. It looks as though Nigel has, collapsed aboard his ship. He may be dead, maybe not. It's hard to tell, but it looks like possibly. After taking 2 hits of that magnitude right to the chest.
Good job,
Hey.
batshit.
Sean Connery's nutsack. Why don't you go up there and teabag him and make sure he's dead? Put yourself right in his mouth. Yeah.
I'll call the shots here, little lady.
I have Soul Eater, so could I see his soul above his body?
Yes. You can make an attempt to try to do a soul suck and see if anything comes towards you.
Okay.
So in doing that, you notice that the soul does not come to you, so it seems as though he's just highly in,
That
very
cheeky
close,
bastard.
but not quite there.
He's not dead yet, guys.
I'm going to use a swift action. I still have my swift action. To attempt to distract Mr. M.
Okay.
It's going to be a little hard, but to distract him with the ornamental tip of John Mayer's penis. I rolled a 12. So.
All right. It doesn't really seem to work out too well. It is something. It is waggling around. He does seem to be affixed on
It is
the fight with you.
magnificent.
Yeah, he does seem to be looking at it. But it seems as though he is definitely locked into combat with you right now, so it will remain like that.
Did I use my swift actions? Or did I just use a move and I need to reload?
To shoot Nigel was just a standard, so you have a move and a swift. And reloading is a swift.
I'm going to reload, and then I'm going to fly back into the ring behind Mr. M.
Okay, try to get right behind Mr. M. Okay. Awesome. So now I will have the enemies go. Alright. So what's going to happen here is Nigel is going to try to do his thing. Okay, that's going to work much better.
It's not
It's
good.
going to work a lot better.
Good when he says that.
All right. So what is so just to get an idea of the scenario, what is everyone looking at health wise?
At 110.
I'm at 110.
You're
55.
at 110. You're at 55. Okay. And what's El Guano at?
110.
All right. Because every member of the party is going to take 50 damage. 50 beam specifically. The large anchor is going to be aimed again. Everyone is going to be hit. It ended up losing the charge turn, so it won't be as damaging. And in addition to it firing, the momentum is going to be used to get Nigel into the ring. Where the vehicle is still over on the side in the water, but Nigel has now made his way into the ring and made his presence known. He tries to go off for a really quick super kick on the nutsack, but ends up missing. Like just tries to land, do like a real quick super kick, and just kind of like fucks up, and then has a look on his face like, oh, this isn't good. Tries to 5 foot away. That's gonna finish Nigel's turn. Mr. M. Let's see. All right. So that's good. All right. Mr. M is going to go for. Just trying to figure out what technique he's going. Oh, he's going to use that one. Mr. M is going to try to go for a power bomb on El Guano. He's going to try to kind of kick him up and just slam him down, if he's able to snatch him. Which he is not able to, even with his accuracy modifiers. El Guano is too slippery. Between flying around, fleeing for his very life, and holding that at stake, Mr. M is unable to latch onto you to try to deliver the blow. Out of frustration, he's going to try to send a volley of those more energy-based attacks towards the remainder of the party. And many of the strikes are just going to completely miss, just like hitting the ground, hitting the area around it. Much damage is being done to the arena at this point in the fight, as many strikes are flying around everywhere. And yeah, Mr. M is pretty much going to blow like a lot of his time trying to grab El Guano, and that will successfully make it where Mr. M is not able to perform crazy maneuvers. Now, lastly, from the back, beneath the ring, emerging is the last competitor climbing over the ropes. You can hear the audience begin to chant. His Titantron gets like a re-fire up once he like re-emerges. And yeah, it seems as though this is the worm. It looks like some kind of a deep sea golem made out of different kinds of kelps and seaweeds and coral and sea glass. And within this is some form of a polychaete worm, so similar to a tube worm, just kind of existing within the rock structure. There's lots of chance. There's lots of chance for the worm. He pokes his almost flowery-looking plumage out where a head would come out, and gives like a poke to the audience. In showing up, he is going to dump a bunch of sea urchins over a chunk of the arena, and the audience is going to start to go wild as he dumps these creatures out. Trying to think if he does anything else besides that. But yeah, I think that's the first thing he's gonna dump. He's gonna dump the sea urchins out. Okay. Yep, he is gonna dump the sea urchins out, and then he's going to delay until something happens next. So it is the player turns. before we begin, once again, what is everyone at health-wise? How are the competitors looking?
60.
60 as well.
5.
5. All right.
I'm impressed you're still here.
So,
I only get
definitely...
more impressive. So, while we've got this pause here, I'll just have you both know that I took a 2-point hindrance called Domineering, because I assumed it would just fit with me perfectly. Which means I have to challenge for leadership and try to be really bossy. And technically, if you keep flaunting my commands, I've got to attack you. But that's the 2-point hindrance.
All right. So, I'm back in. So what is the party going to do? This may be the last turn and the last chance to survive.
Well, I think I'll try to shoot at Nigel again. $19.
19. That will just miss Nigel by 1.
I could put the frickin' gun to my temple and miss.
So you end up shooting the shot, and it looks like it comes really close to Nigel, and he ends up reflecting it with the large anchor that's connected to him. Just gives it like a last-minute like swing away after having a look in his eyes, like, "Oh shit, this is gonna hit me." And he kind of continues his march forward with a look in his eye. There anything else you want to do with your turn?
Not really.
Okay.
Have anything that will heal you up or anything like that?
I got the Soul Eater, but I have to kill somebody first. We have to kill somebody first.
Right, then hold on to that, because I'm going to go after Nigel.
Okay.
And... oh my god. And 19.
Yeah, 19.
Oh my god. Shannon! I'm telling you.
I'm on everyone. I never should have joined.
So was this the same thing? This was you shooting at him?
Oh.
Yeah, so similar kind of thing of like you try to give a shot at him, has like another look like, oh, not again, this might do me in, I'm not looking good, and he gives like a quick little like short like 2-3 foot like dodge roll like across the ground like he's running the ropes. All right.
No, this is when I needed that one-shot ranged attack to come from John Mayer's penis.
I'm going to use, for my switch action, I'm going to use Terrifying again.
Okay.
I can terrify these guys. I doubt.
You probably have a much better chance of terrifying Mr. Nigel.
Mm-hmm. I can move you a few squares up. That won't provoke anyone, and that'll put it like in like a better range where you can try to terrifying on Nigel.
I flick a match at your head.
I got a 76 on my roll. I don't know if that even matters or not. So.
All right. So, you give off your terrifying, whether that's a strange face, a scream, a voice, a mixture of it. The audience gets a reaction. Nigel is going to look really intimidated, and Nigel is going to start to book it back to his boat. Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. I can have him probably do that on his. So I will say when it is Nigel's turn, Nigel's just going to try to book it back to the boat. Like he's a bit of like a chicken shit heel. Like he has a look on his face, like, oh, I'm out of here. I guess this is it. I'm done. I'm not messing with these guys. I don't want to die. All right. Oh, so all the players have gone? Yeah. So.
Alderman, did you go? Zach?
I not believe that I went.
I don't think you did.
You know what? I think it's your turn. Yeah.
How the hell did you win in front of me?
He was just gonna go. He's like, yeah.
Yep, it's your turn.
This is like when I try to play Munchkin on Friday nights, and I'm a little wasted, and I try to tell.
There's no order, is there?
Everybody that I haven't gone, and sometimes they believe me. Okay. because they're wasted too. Anyway, so I'm going to point to Mr. M and dramatically point straight to the floor. It's going down. And I'm going to try to hit him with both sides of John Mayer's dick. 2 attacks.
All right.
I probably should do the dingle thing first, but the first attack is a 61 with so 91 with bonuses.
Yep, that one hits.
And the second one is a 20, which is a 50 with bonuses.
All right. So, let's see here. So you're going to notice a similar kind of thing that's been going on. However, this time you notice that the defensive capabilities don't come up, or at least it looks like the last one clicks off. So you manage to get one of the sword swings in. Give me a roll for damage.
Maybe I can get above 20 this time. 37! It's better than 20!
Alright. Big old nice slash. After blocking a lot of these moves and with the different abilities, you notice that the exoskeletal armor seems to be kind of falling off and flaking away. Some of the luster of his power seems to be fading. So...
I still have a move action.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to... If I'm in the square right next to him, I'd like to move cautiously one square away so that there's a square between us and I can take advantage of my reach weapon.
Oh, okay. Yep. I got you.
With my swift action, I'll try to, captivate him with the tip of John Mayer's dick.
Okay.
I rolled a double aught. I cannot crit. Is double aught good or bad in this game?
Wait, what'd you get, 100?
Yeah. I can't crit. So
yeah, normally that's like big, good, awesome, big success.
Totally
but in the case of you not critting, it just means really big number. So I will say it will distract, and this will start to lower his evasion from 50 to be lower. This guy is reasonably evasive, and that evasion is going to start dropping after a little bit of a waggle.
Nobody can withstand John Mayer's dick.
All right, so enemy turn. Let's see. Nigel is going to book it. Oh yeah, he successfully does it. He is going to book it to his boat. He's gonna kind of like move over, and like not even using the anchor. He's just swimming across the water, like getting like back on the boat, getting that like big distance. And
good job, Guano.
Yeah. After that, let's see here. Alrighty. So, yeah, the worm is gonna go. The worm is going to move on over to the demonic lady we have here, and is going to try to attempt a choke slam onto the sea urchins that have been laid down on the ground previously.
Whoa.
So he's gonna try. 77 makes contact. Give me a roll to try to break out of the choke slam.
23.
You break out of it perfectly, and you actually see an opening to try to get a move in.
Really?
Yes, because he rolled a 5.
So I get to attack him back now?
Yeah, he failed so poorly that I'm gonna say there's enough of an opening that you can try to get like some kind of an attack in on the worm.
Well, currently I have out my bottomless pistol, so can I do that, or should I do an unarmed strike?
I would say what'll work here is, well, you know what, let me see here, where is he? I will say the gun will be fine. I will say that'll be fine.
5!
Okay! So it just might be one of those things of he messes up his thing, you mess up your thing, no one's thing really happens, Or,
Let's call the whole thing off.
like, I'm gonna say something happens where the opening happens, you fire your gun, there's a weird ricochet, and all that's gonna happen is the both of you, you and the worm, are both just gonna be knocked back a square and fall prone. So it's not gonna do any damage, but you're just gonna be kind of like knocked back a bit. There could be other side effects after, but that's all that really happened. So that happens, and there's like a bit of a laugh from the audience after that exchange. Nigel ran to his boat. He's scared.
I bet the kids aren't scared of me anymore.
And then Mr. M is going to go next. All right, Mr. M looks like he's gonna get ready a big boot. And let's see here. All right, so what is everyone at health-wise? Because I might need to describe deaths if we're getting this close.
I'm at 40.
I'm still at 6-0.
You're at 60?
Oh my god, look at that cat behind me. He is in trouble. I'm at 42.
You're at 42. And you're at 60. Okay, so this is a big boot heading towards the sack. So Mr. M is going to bounce off the ropes, and he's trying to come back with a big boot. This is a 93 to hit.
Oh shit, I better try to improvised counter that.
Yeah.
Alright, so his defense is -5. So, my roll. 79 plus 25,
Yep,
and then he'd be at -5. So, 104.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Perfect! For, 89 damage,
All right.
which brings me up
So-
to full health.
You slam that damage in, and I'm going to say, like, you do that, you get the heal, but now the boot's coming. Due to it still enabling the full hit and everything. So coming towards you is going to be 76 bludgeoning damage.
No!
As you take a big boot. This is going to send you back into the ropes on the other side, and you are going to begin to be wrapped up in these ropes. That is going to complete Mr. M's turn, and it is now the party's turn. All right. So now the situation seems even more dire. Yeah, as each turn passes, sand through the hourglass filters through.
I will get up with my swift action.
Yep.
Did he rip me further away from Nigel, or can I still shoot at him?
You can still shoot at Nigel. Nigel is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He is exactly 12 squares away from you. So you can Nigel.
Alright. Wish me luck. I switched dice again. 97!
That is a crit, which means you can do times or an auto hit with a special effect.
Let's do ×2. So that is average piercing. 82. So what's that, 164?
Yup. Alright, so how do you want to do this? You can go into detail.
Is he dead?
You can go into detail how he's taking the shot, yeah, if you want.
Okay, so Petunia lines up with her cold black eyes, and she is pissed because she has not been doing well. And she just basically dead eyes him, does her little lipless smile, and fires, and watches the bullet sail all the way through, and the camera follows the bullet through the hole, through the wound.
Goes right through. After that, the body is gonna fall completely over the vessel and fall into the abyss. Just
Then I'm envisioning a headshot.
yeah, big ol' headshot, And it's I'm gonna say it's so much force he's gonna fall backwards off the boat with like the last few sputterings and kind of drift away into the water. There's a large round of applause after Nigel was handled.
No, he can't drift away. I need his soul.
Oh, yeah. You can totally grab the soul. You can do that. It's just more of like you just see like the corpse itself, kind of, you know. So as a swift, you can try to do the soul suck, and then.
Well, it says that I have to move over the soul. The soul will float above the body.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I imagine.
So I'm probably gonna have to swim
So
to
the
it.
soul itself, I'm gonna say, is going to be on the deck of the boat, and the body is kind of like drifted down to the bottom. So if you make it to the boat, the soul's right on it.
The worm's gonna grab me in the water, but okay, that's my turn.
All right.
Tony! Tony! Thanks for showing up.
Eventually I am your doom.
Slow death.
Slow burn.
I'll get you one
The
day.
big ones take longer.
I'm still above Mr. M. I'm going to put him in my sights and fire my rifle on him.
Okay.
78.
Did you say 98?
78.
78.
70.
Okay, that is definitely going to hit. And Mr. M no longer has the crazy defensive capabilities to try to block moves like he was before, so this will go completely through and hit him. Let's see some damage.
You're gonna steal my kill, damn it.
88.
Oh, you bastard.
All right. The damage sinks into Mr. M. Mr. M is starting to actually look damaged now. Throughout everything that is being done to him, the defensive capabilities chipped away, the large amount of HP he has is now being whittled away at. Mr. M still seems ready for a fight with some tricks up his sleeve, but with his party decreasing in numbers over time, we'll quickly see how things turn.
You might be able to
Is there
scare
anything
him
else?
now.
Is there anything else that Elgono would like to do?
Try Terrify again.
All right, give it a shot.
90.
90. So, even with the 90, does not intimidate the figure. It seems as though Mr. M is not immune to fear, but does have a large reservoir of health, some of which has been chipped into nicely, but there's still more. So,
Guys.
So that's the party. All right.
Where's the ball sack?
Where's the balls?
Can't find my balls.
And right. I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can. I
Okay,
can
all
hear
right.
you.
I dropped out for a second there. It's my turn, right? Yes.
I believe so.
Because I went last.
I
last
went,
time,
Guano went.
Yes, you are
All
currently wrapped up in the ropes, so you need to at least try to use your swift to get out of the ring ropes.
I will. Shit. I'll use my swift action to get out of the ring ropes.
All right.
And then,
could you give me a roll?
I will give you a roll. I got a 69, dude.
That will be good. That'll be enough where you manage to get yourself out of the ropes with your swift.
Then I will try to make my way back towards Mr. M because he is going to go down. I'm going to take that Goliath out.
All
I
right.
have a move of 6 and reach. Can I make it?
Yes, you can. You can move right. You can move right over to him. You still have that space with your reach, right up to him.
Excellent. I want to stay one away because I don't know. He probably has reach because he's big, but whatever. Now you'll taste the full fury of John Mayer's giant schlong, you bastard! Whoa. I lost a dice! We've got a dice down! All that build up for nothing. For 95 plus 30.
95. That definitely hits.
Not a crit. And then the second attack.
Not a crit, but does absolutely hit. Yep.
The second attack was a 17, so a 30. 47. 47 with bonuses.
That will hit considering the minuses to evasion that he has received. Both of your hits are going to work. The defensive capabilities have been chipped away.
Shit.
Between that
First
and the
damage.
evasion lowering.
41.
All right.
What was I at? 4 health. And the second attack does 72 damage.
All right. After that second strike, he is going to look much more weakened. Like, it definitely looks like getting, 100-something per turn down on him is definitely working. The hardiness of the figure is definitely starting to come down into shambles. Another turn of attacking, Mr. M will probably go down. If they're as successful, especially with now both hits being able to go through. Evasion drops, etc. Alright, so with the party going, Mr. M is going to take possibly a last turn. We're going to see how this goes. And also the worm over here. Alright. So, the worm is going to take some time setting up some weird structures, mixtures of chairs, tables, and ladders, many spiked instruments. It just looks like an amusement park of madness that's just thrown together over the course of like a few seconds. Many of the objects are coming out of the pockets and orifices upon the worm's body. Other things are taken from debris and random things kind of floating in the water. Much of it is coming off of his actual self. And he begins kind of building and constructing some madness. He is then going to place himself on top of this structure, looking like he's getting ready for a dive. Next, we will have Mr. M. Mr. M tries to do a long, vengeful combo, just a very, very long melee combo on the sack. All of the moves are going to miss as all of them kind of brisk by one after another. Mr. M looking incredibly frustrated that he is being bested by a sack.
I'm going to use my improvised counter, even though he missed. Try to get that kill blow in. I don't know if I'm that close, but we'll find out.
Give it a shot.
I rolled a 54, so 79.
79 damage? All right, Mr.
Counter. 79 to counter.
Oh, yep, that'll work.
Oh, shit, he's going down. I did 56 damage.
All right, so after the big barrage of attacks back forth all over the place, just everywhere trying to get you, you find that opening in his frantic nature, and you give that plunge, and then you see the look on Mr. M's face as he kind of like falls over backwards. Mr. M doesn't look as though he is dead, but it looks as though he is like completely brought down, no health, not looking very well, and he is gonna drop down, look at you, gesture to grab the mic. He's gonna grab the microphone. You've proven yourself to me. I don't think I need to fight any longer. I forfeit. You've bested me. You've done it. I'm gonna try to fight another day. I'm out of here.
Quick, somebody kill him so I can eat his soul.
Mr. M basically takes his turn to do that. Like, fucks up a big combo, gets hit really hard, brought down to a tiny sliver, is looking to retreat. You know what? Can he retreat in this turn? You know what? I think he can. Not bad.
No, he can't.
I'd almost called for the tea bag.
Because I will say, for the sake of he still has a movement, he can use that movement, having that reach away, going 1, 2, 3, kind of this way, back into the
Lame.
Mr. M just kind of marches his like ashamed, weakened body. He's all hunched over, looking very shamed and angry. The audience kind of jeering and giving him a bunch of different things back on him. But he seems to carry on the emotion that he wishes to fight another day. He wishes to vie for the Deep Six championship, and now isn't the time. He must train. He slinks down into a crevice in the abyss to harden himself after near death in defeat at a ball sack.
And I was going to go for the death blow tea bag.
You failed, Dick.
The audience is
I'm
going to
a ball
begin
sack.
cheering wildly. The audience is definitely about what's going on. So that being said, it is the party's turn. The worm looks like the last one in the arena. He set up a large funhouse of horror type setup, and he is atop a very strangely made hardcore wrestling structure.
I am going to take... Oh, God. I'm going to take the very, very dumb idea to try and swim to Nigel's soul. So I have a
You're
speed of
upset.
6, so I get, what, halfway there?
You can double move in a turn, and you can move 12.
Oh, then I will move 12 to get to the barge. But that means I don't get any action, right?
It'll be something where, with the double move and going all the way, you can get almost there. Like, I would say, actually, you know what? Since he fell over and everything, you move out into the water, you move over to where the soul is, you can now suck the soul.
Woohoo! 25 HP for me, and then I am basically stopped there this turn.
Yeah, you move like a bit out, like into the water, suck up the HP, and then you notice the depth of the water below you. There looks to be many cracks, deep fissures beneath, that connect almost the dome to what lies further beyond. So that is your turn. What does the rest of the party do?
Bash,
I'm gonna reload.
reload, and take your best shot.
I'm gonna fly over this arena. I can spot him.
All right. That's a moving. Reload. Give me a perception check.
53.
All right. You are able to pinpoint him. It looks like he is standing atop a structure he has thrown together out of different materials. And it looks like he is trying to get ready to jump or pull off some kind of maneuver. You are able to reload, move up to him, locate him, and you can try to fire if you want.
Come on, Nick.
Yeah, let's
You can
do it.
4.
All right.
80.
80 to hit. Okay, that will hit.
14 damage.
14. Okay. So, you give a shot, it blasts into the worm, blows off a chunk of that exo armor. You see him almost wobble for a little bit on this very high structure, but still is maintaining a balance, but you do got a beat on him. Now I believe it's the Sack's turn.
Petunia, do you want to go?
You win.
Oh, shit.
I swam
My
out
turn.
to eat a soul.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. So, the worm is quite a distance away. The only thing I can do is attempt a double movement to get as close to him as I can.
Okay. So, let's see.
And
Double
if I end
move.
up within 3 squares of him, let me know.
All right. So, between like a double move, I will say that'll work between like navigating the structure, moving up higher. You now find, you know what? With a single move, you can move up to him.
With a single move?
And especially if you only want to have like the 3 squares away. So, what do we got for the? Yeah, you are 3 squares away.
3 squares away is going to make it. However, I will try to help the party out and mystify him, yet dazzle him with John Mayer's schlong. 37 plus 100 affliction.
All right. You begin giving it like a good waggle and a good wiggle, and you try to get at it, and you notice it does start to work. Starts to focus less on the balance and like, oh hey, what's that?
Gaze upon John Mayer's cock.
The tube worm inside begins moving around like a snake with a snake charmer. Begins kind of dancing around and moving. Almost thinks that it's another tube worm.
So I've done a full move action and a swift action.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do anything with my standard action. I'm 3 away. I'll take my standard action to get within 2 squares of him for melee next round.
Okay.
If that's what I got going on.
So now, all right. So the worm's making his way up the structure. He's looking around. He's gonna survey the area. He's gonna look around, and all right. So after being moving really high atop the structure, it looks like the worm is going to try to take a dive. And it looks like he is strategically taking this dive to try to, in combination, take out the structure and land on anyone that's not going to be hit by the debris of the structure. So it seems as though the structural collapse and all the debris flying everywhere, shrapnel, sea urchins, different other kinds of pointy sea critters, coral, the likes, is going to be shattered around the sack and El Guano, and this giant suicide dive elbow drop maneuver is going to be attempted to be delivered on the one who sucked a soul at the far end. So I'm going to see how this goes. All right. So El Guano and the sack, how are both of you for health currently?
I'm at full health of 80.
All right. You're at 80, and what are you at?
You're cutting out a bit again.
60.
Okay, so we have one with 60 health, one with 80 health. Okay. So this stuff is going to shatter. Just want to make sure I got the right damage on there. All right. So, the sack and El Guano, both of you are going to receive 56 slashing damage as the structure completely slashes into bits and explodiates. In addition to this, there is going to be multiple things stuck into your body where, if not removed properly, can do additional damage. And I will say, yeah, that seems about right. El Guano, if you could give me a roll, this is a coordination roll, only because you were flying around and you were hit with many objects that could be weighing you down.
I use the defensive teleport.
Yes, you can.
All right, let's do that.
By using defensive teleport, you are going to negate the damage entirely.
Yeah, buddy.
There you go.
I move 6 squares.
All right.
Right?
Yep, and then you can move, 3 squares, whether that's in the ring, higher up, whatever the case.
Let's go higher up.
And now, I gotta see the elbow drop. Alright, he's gonna do half with this. So, big old elbow drop. It does hit, but doesn't hit, like, fully clean. This is gonna be at the far end. So after sucking a soul, you look up, and there is a large tomb worm in a golem body just performing a big old diving maneuver. You receive 50 bludgeoning damage. Oh, I'm sorry, 50 poison damage.
What was the point of that soul?
Yeah, you got it, though.
Still alive.
You've taken that soul.
So fortunately, you aren't hit by the full brunt of it, especially kind of being out in the water and being a different kind of target. But you are still at least kind of struck with it. And then afterwards, the worm is going to be out of sight, sunk to the bottom, something of the sorts.
Shit.
I would like to try one more thing. Okay. You notice that as the worm sinks into the abyss, it tries to grab at your legs and your ankles frantically. You manage to kick them away in a frenzy, in a terrified frenzy, as it seems as though he was trying to drag you into the abyss. As you see the worm slowly sink out of sight.
You can't get a grip on hooves.
The audience is going to begin chanting. There's chants and cheers and all the like throughout. There's lots of pounding on the chairs and the like. Many people getting ready for the worm. Many chants for the worm as he disappears out of sight. So what would the party like to do?
I want to get the hell out of the water now.
Good call.
So it'll probably take double movement to get back, and then I assume that is my turn.
Yep. You can make it. Well, actually, from where you are, you can do single movement.
Okay.
With single movement going through the ropes and whatnot, you're like 2 squares like into the arena. So you can get back with a single, yeah.
Okay, so I will get back. Oh, but I guess to pull my whip out, that would be a swift action.
Which you could do. I'll say you can do that. You can move over.
And then, could I, on top of that, also whip at the water?
Yeah, as your standard, yeah.
Okay. My whip has chaotic on it, so I mean, I'm hoping I get electric, but we'll see what happens. So I guess I'm just randomly whipping at the water for a 69 to hit.
Okay, 69 to try to hit about the same spot. You'll be able to do so.
So my chaotic damage type is 6, which is beam. So can I roll damage on that?
Yeah, I would say roll damage on that.
30.
Alright, so a big old whip crack on the top of the water.
Beam damage.
Beam damage. Some of that water on the top is just kind of like blown off away. There's some cheers from the audience over like the quick spectacle that it has. You notice from the light up of the beam, you do notice there was like a few more attempts of like grabs at the hooves on the way down. It seems as though that the worm is down there still attempting stuff. Like while you were on like your last bits of moving on out. It seems like he's down there. Okay. So, what do the other players do?
Being completely oblivious to the worm's health, I'm going to make my way straight towards Nigel's corpse.
Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So at 5 squares, you're at the edge of the arena. Do you wish to move into the water towards Nigel's corpse, which is sinking in the water? Or mostly sunken?
Because I'm absolutely confident that I can get there.
Alright. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you want to try to swim down to get to it?
I'm gonna do whatever I can to get to Nigel's corpse.
Okay.
Water.
So
It's sunk in the water, or is it on its ship? I kind of imagined it being on its ship.
well, what happened was Nigel fell off the ship from the force of the blast that he was killed from, and then he fell in the water. The soul was left close to the ship. It was taken.
I'm gonna try to dive into the water to find his corpse.
All right. So I will say that is your full turn between double moving, between single move to move out to the water, and then moving about 15 feet deep in the water and continuously going. So you're about 15 feet in the water, and you are going for the corpse, heading right at it.
Going for it.
Going for it. El Iguano.
He's gonna fly around and see if he can use his
Szechuan sauce.
yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Sonar without sight, and see if he can use it to find a worm under the water.
Okay. Give me a roll.
48.
48. You try to click onto the worm. You're doing the best you can to try to see where he is. Seems as though that he's hiding his presence really well. A better roll might be able to get more information, but it seems as though right off the cuff you don't have info. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I think El Guano is just going to reload and then keep flying around.
All right. Just gonna reload, fly around, kind of getting around the area. I imagine where your friends are at. Getting a bit
Up the
closer,
crowd a little bit.
Yeah, moving around. Crowd's checking you out. You got a little bit of time to kind of do that, flex for the crowd. All right. So, the sack. You're swimming deep. As you get deeper and deeper and deeper, eventually, you end up finding yourself faced.
I'm gonna try not to allow myself to drown.
Yes. Yeah, you end up getting to like an appropriate depth where you can try to find the body. It looks as though you end up getting close to the body and like at it. But unfortunately, the worm is going to make himself visual. Peeking out from behind the body, rising himself up, he is going to try to basically grab you and drag you beneath the weight. Alright, so, he got a crit. He's going for, like, that drowning, the damage, etc., etc. So if he's successful, it's going to be a very brutal, probably drag to the grave. However,
that's terrible.
You will get a single attempt to try to stop this.
We'll try to use my counterattack to bat away his attack underwater with John Mayer's throbbing penis.
So basically, if you were able to try to fell him with the damage, you might be able to do something. If not, you could be dragged to the grave.
Oh no! I got a 61 to hit, so that's 86 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that to do it? What kind of damage can I do?
Well, what I was seeing was well, I wanted to see a what's it called roll, a grapple roll. Oh, that's right. You're doing an improvised counter. So that does hit. I'm sorry. What was the damage?
Damage would be 65.
All right. So you manage to lay down some damage. Like you see, like this figure just shows up. It's trying to grab you by like the feet, the ankles, the neck, whatever. Well, I guess not your neck because I don't know if you have a neck. But it's just trying to grab all your bally parts and your folds and stuff, and it's trying to drag you to the abyss. You notice that you are able to get the damage in, but it does not seem to be stopping it. and it is just going to slowly, the worm is just going to drag you down and down and down. And as it drags you, it's performing some kind of like a bear hug technique. Now let me see this. And it's going to be times 2. Hang on. I got to do some math real quick. So, the sack is going to be, as explained before, bear hugged, dragged deep beneath the waves, just with a massive clawing squeeze. You receive 274 slashing damage.
Oh no! That puts me under!
Way under.
Yeah, he ended up critting, unfortunately, and just going for the damage. So, yeah, the sack, like, the party, you see the sack go under to try to get a body.
I was going for that teabag.
He died without fanfare, just like Sean Connery's career.
So after that's done,
I killed Arn.
Oh, dude, 2 bloody testicles just come floating up to the top.
Just one floats up.
What?
What is that hairy hamburger in the water?
That too wasn't my idea.
Oh, so that being said, you can suck the soul of the testicle.
Yeah!
I mean, if you go out to where it was maybe. I mean, it's in the water. I'm thinking you can probably see it, like if you suck souls.
I mean, maybe this is me, but Freud might have a ball with this. Sucking a testicle soul.
Your God, it's a penis envy.
So that does seem to be what the situation is. Sean Connery's sack has been unfortunately taken out. Did a valiant effort and a great battle against Mr. M, but was ultimately felled, dragged into the abyss, into the ultimate layer of the blue ball.
I'm gonna yell to El Guano. That means I get his cut, right?
Sure do. 25%.
Are you talking about a circumcision?
No, your money. How do you circumcise the balls?
Yeah, I thought
You
about
just
that
found
right
out.
after I said it. It's a Scottish thing.
Gotta clean it up. There's a lot of extra skin down there.
Get those nudicles.
So, what do the other members of the party do? The worm is beneath the waves and just dragged your friend downward.
It's okay to cry, party. It's okay to cry.
I don't have tear ducts. I am going to do simple necromancy and summon 3 zombies.
Is one
Ball
of
1,
them
ball
not
2, and the sack.
It does not say I need bodies.
True.
So I guess that is my turn.
Oh.
And also, I would like to, maybe before I summon them, I'll move back away from the edge of the ring a little bit.
Yeah.
Towards the middle, and then I will summon them.
Okay. Alright. What would El Guano like to do?
I'm going to use my sonar again, see where I can find him.
Alright, give me
And
your...
then... The 17.
17? Unfortunately not. You are not able to lock in on him. You know just about as much as everyone else that the sack disappeared beneath the waves, and he's somewhere down there. That's all you can tell. Anything else you to do?
I'm going to head to the middle of the ring and land.
Okay. You head to the middle of the ring, and you land next to your partner. With the zombies, everything all stable. All right. So let's see. Enemy turn. Da-da. So I imagine it ends up being silent for a short time. The audience grows a bit quiet. You can hear the sounds of the water slapping up against the underside of the boat, of the yacht, with no driver any longer. The audience begins to grow more quiet as the time goes on. Not out of a boredom, but out of a respect, out of waiting for the conclusion to boil over. There is a silence that hangs over the ring. The silence is going to be abruptly disturbed when all of a sudden the arm of the worm is going to come bursting from beneath the mat. The worm is going to grab... Oh, yeah. Between the damage output and everything for this, ends up doing like a mandible claw style thing, just getting his hand, mankind style, just all jabbed up in one of the zombies' mouths. One of the zombies is definitely going to be destroyed as it kind of just bursts through the ground, mandible claws one of the zombies, destroys one of them, and then makes his way up to the surface. You have 2 more zombies. After that, like on his way up, there is going to be more of these almost pseudo thumbtacks made of bits of coral, sea glass, what have you. He's going to use this where now half of the arena is going to be coated in this substance. It is now the player turn.
I'm with you in spirit.
Hear that? I heard something.
You heard
I
something?
heard a ball sack in my ear.
For my zombies, is it just an unarmed strike?
Yes.
Okay, are they within range because they can't move?
Because it's where they can either move or attack, I believe, right?
Well, it says, and only one standard action per turn, parentheses, no move or swift actions.
Yeah. They only get one standard, so it's like you can do a move. Okay, so that means one of your zombies can attack him. One of your zombies is right next to him. Like one of your zombies, yeah.
Okay, so the other zombie, I guess, will just mindlessly towards him, and the other one will attack. Negative 20 on all rolls, so this should go very well. 37, so that's a 17.
Nope. That one. Yeah, tries to take a swipe, doesn't work. The other one begins to slowly move within range.
And for myself, I'll do another whip attack. 79.
79, that definitely hits.
Usually high for you.
The type... I know. The type of damage is going to be acid. So... 87 acid damage.
Big old whip crack on the outside of the armor. It sizzles much of it away. You can get the smell of the basic carbon composition of the shell kind of starting to flake away. That definitely seemed like a nice hearty hit. Although this is an armored being, it can't take many hits like that. Like crack it before.
Yeah. You smell worse than I do.
Then close your legs.
Rotten crotch. For real.
Gross.
No. It's time for... Let me see here.
I think my next character will be El Guano's ball sack. We'll leave El Guano's body.
So El Guano, what do you do?
I'm going to take off, and I'm going to get a beat on it, and I'm going to fire on him.
All right.
With a 14.
Oh boy. So yeah, you try to get the aim, you shoot downward. Yeah, just kind of ends up like giving like a little bit of like a sidestep away from it.
You tickle
The
it.
worm does a little bit of a bow after like voiding the move. All right. So now I'm gonna have the worm
Don't forget
go.
to reload if you have the action.
I should reload.
Oh, yep. There you go. Reloading. All right. So the
Reload, you asshole!
reloading. Let's see here. So the worm is gonna try to go for a double neck breaker. On both. Let's see. Probably you and one of your zombies. Yeah. So you and the zombie next to you are going to take. Yes. Let's see what happens here. I gotta see. Okay, that definitely hits. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So the neck breaker is going to try to be applied to you, but it doesn't work. So he just doubles down on the one applied to your zombie and just pretty much slams a really, really, really hard neck breaker, immediately gets up, grabs your other zombie, and then DDTs it. So unfortunately, all your zombies are eliminated.
I'll take the meat shields. I'm okay with that.
He ends up basically spiking them into the all the spiky debris that he has like lied down before him. After that, he is going to take a 5-foot step, going deeper into the massively spiky area that he has laid out before him. After that, it is the player turn.
Okay, I have to apologize because on my last hit I rolled average, but the whip is very weak.
Oh, that's
So that was my bad.
all right.
But I like this chaotic thing, so I'm gonna try to do the whip again.
Yeah. All right, I'll move you within range, and you don't need to walk onto any of the stuff because it has reach.
I have 18.
That unfortunately will not work. You see it hit the ground, and it kind of slaps some of the debris around, but it does not fully make contact. He manages to try to, like, kind of block the whip with his arm, and it sort of wraps around the arm of the worm as he gives a little bit of a gurgly cackle.
They can't all be winners.
El Guano, do you need to go?
Yeah, he's. I'm gonna fire on him again.
Okay.
68.
That definitely hit.
The 35 damage.
All right. The worm's starting to look whittled down. Still has some fight in him. The battle's going to continue. The worm is going to take a whole bunch of the crackled up debris in his hands, and he's going to try to cast it outward in almost like a blinding type fashion over the party.
Dirty move.
So that is going to be a 90, so that's definitely going to work. So basically how this is going to work is his moves are just going to have a bonus to hit. He's trying to essentially lower your evasion, make the outside of your body all pained and blinded and whatnot. So he's going to do that. And let's see. All right. So, first thing that he's going to do is he's going to pick up the largest structure that kind of remains of the thing that blew up before that he made. He's going to try to hit off the ropes and smash this large object over the back of the zombie summoning demon. That is going to be a 90, so that definitely hits.
Oh!
All right. And that is going to be 70 piercing damage.
Ouch.
Oh. As Petunia crumples to the ground. She says to El Guano, "You can have my cut." And then Chopin's funeral march starts playing over the speakers.
No.
This is great, guys. Shit. Thanks for helping out.
How did the scared little bat kid be the only one that's alive?
That's how it is.
Not cool. Not cool. I don't like fighting worms.
Those fighting worms. So yeah, the worm is going to be about a square away from you, just like starting to make his march towards you. It is now El Guano's turn as he finds himself the last in the arena. Someone that would be more suited in a managerial role finds himself faced with a brutal hardcore wrestler from another world.
Oh my god. Oh, he's gonna fire and he got an /7.
You got a
He's
7?
scared shitless. Oh my god.
So super terrified. It's, oh, come on, man. You're going to aim the gun, just kind of blast it into the ground, shoot some of the debris away. The worm just kind of like continues his march forward. After a while, a spotlight is going to be shown on the arena, and a figure is going to draw its way forward, calling back the worm. The worm is going to suit itself up in the corner just in case it's needed. Still eyeballing you. Working his way to the middle of the arena was the person that was giving you the interviews before, a floating Cheshire cat-style smile, silken white gloves daintily placed over the hands, a very, very nice business suit, something that hasn't been seen in a long time, very old-fashioned. This figure moves his way down in a floating fashion to the middle of the arena, towards El Guano. Mr. El Guano, you have fought valiantly, even though it is not necessarily your style. You've taken up this gladiatorial lifestyle quite well. Snap of his fingers, the worm ends up kind of like slinking away and whatnot. You see, I'd like to take you up for some jobs in the future, my friend. And what I'm talking about is I'm talking about some managerial roles. Have you manage a few gladiators, talk to a few people? Seeing you hold your own definitely gives me confidence in your abilities.
That sounds great. Better than my last job. Look who I was managing. This ball sack who didn't do anything.
Now, I can definitely spare you and cut off any contracts you might have had prior. I promise. I can grease you to the gills more than any other person said they could. And I know that's what they told you.
Let's grease me up.
Extending his hand, the strange figure has a large smile on his face. The ravenous audience begins to roar. The hand of the figure in his gloves is towards you. A shake, my good man.
And he puts his hand out.
Now, I think we can make wonderful business together. The name is Smooth Jerry Blanc. And I've got the deal of the century screaming your way, fella. Yeah, we'll miss the ones we lost along the way, and we'll mourn them, but we stop this pursuit for the title, and you get this glorious, smooth position. And I can already tell you agree, shaking my hands and looking in my eyes.
I don't want the title. That's not what I wanted. My job is to manage and make money.
Yeah. You'll make plenty of money. And the audience loves you even. The audience begins to uproar, seeing what's going on. It seems to be a little bit of a mixed reaction of appreciation for what you did, but some people seem disappointed, wanting to see the worm go for the title. Now, 1 second. I need to pacify the masses. Smooth takes up the microphone. Now, you ravenous people, you. All of you will have great things come your way. We've got a manager, a great manager, one that wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty, one that works with a ball sack and a demon. He's a bat. From the deepest reaches of your imagination, he descends from the ceiling and pops on down to give great opportunity to some big fellas. Now, if any of you be looking out there, you're looking for someone, you want a new guy to manage you. You look for this guy right here. And those of you that want to see the Deep Six Championship get contended for again, well, the Worm and some of these guys might have their chance. I will see to that. We'll book it even. It'll be great. It'll be glorious. Everyone will make out like kings. So as the roar of the audience begins to die down a bit and fanfare is had, many of the spectators, although ravenous in their nature, seem to heavily enjoy where the events have gone. The title not fully being contended, but still fanfare. El Guano is going to be brought over to the back, working alongside this strange figure, Smooth Jerry Blong, who seems to have something more up his sleeves than what he is giving off at the get-go. Yeah, ends up, so El Guano now finds himself out of the fryer and into God knows what. For his next adventures. One of the last images we will have here before we close off, the title holder makes his presence known. A massive Titanic figure, deep blue, looking like a massive old-school scuba diver with a huge wrestling title placed over his waist. Makes his presence seen towards the end of the victory. Ends up like donning up his title in triumph as everyone starts receding to the back. Over time, it looks like from the depths some kind of massive sea monster comes up to contend for his title as he fights it back and forth, being dragged into the abyss and knocked around all over the place. After much time, he is dragged away until none can see him any longer, but they know he'll be back eventually. He always comes back. So that being said, I guess at this point, if there's any outros we have for our characters, for example, funerals for the deceased, like very minor stuff like that, if anyone wants to add anything about their characters before we wrap up.
Petunia's body gets pushed into the water and just slowly sinks, and nobody cared, just like she said.
Just slinks to the bottom with the many other bodies out in the cosmic ocean.
Her wide open, black, dark, now milky eyes staring up the whole time as if she knows her fate.
A grisly fate. But it was all a part of the job.
Now, Sean Connery has many, many friends. And one of those friends manages to rescue the corpse of his long-departed ballsack. Sends it back to Earth, back to Spain. Back to where Sean Connery lives, cowardly to avoid taxes. Sean Connery gets the box, opens it up, sees what's inside his dead testicles, and a single tear wells up in one of his eyes. He takes a long, long, introspective trek back to native Scotland and buries his ballsack in the Highlands, where he probably wasn't even born, but that's where it's got to go, and gives him a great, great send-off in the only way that Sean Connery can, in his walker, probably, because nobody sees what he looks like anymore. But that's what happened. Sean Connery mourning the loss of his ballsack that he hasn't seen in so long, in a beautiful, beautiful place.
Can I applaud that?
I was just picturing the scene at the end of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where he like buries them at the end, but it's his balls, and his balls just come busting out of the ground at the end. I can't die in Africa. I'll come from the ground.
So maybe instead of El Guano's ballsack, my next character will be the zombie version of his
So, is there anything else that El Guano would like to mention, or anything that El Guano does before everything wraps up?
I grabs the mic. I just want to say that this was the greatest moment of my life. I will never forget every single one of you that was here for me. El Guano, El Guano, El Guano, El Guano. And nobody responds. He just kind of like bumps and walks out of the arena.
He's just having his moment.
And nobody's having it with him.
It's so good. El Guano, El Guano. So I think that'll be the last shot of this session is El Guano chanting for himself. The audience not really feeding back into it, just running circles like in the ring, fingers pointing up and down, chanting. And that'll be the last shot we have, kind of panning up from the ceiling. El Guano getting smaller and smaller as he's flapping around the ring, getting a shot at the dome, etc., etc. And then I imagine our little post-credit sequence is Torso Aquarium showing up and then realizing what went down, and then him going, the end of the contract was technically filled, so El Guano, you are still getting paid. So El Guano still, he ends up showing up. You don't need the ride back. You're doing stuff with smooth Jerry Blanc, but you do end up getting greased up at the very end. So that being said,
That's awesome.
that being said, that was the Dome. What did everyone think?
Oh, I loved it.
I
Amazing.
loved it. It was really fun.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I'd be down to do another one in the future. Some of them are less like arena oriented, some are more like open world. We've done more roleplay heavy adventures. We've done like flat out strategic war games, build a person, jump in, fight. We've kind of done it like all over. So if there's any like suggestions of like a future theme, genre, anything like that, let me know and I can start like throwing something together.
That's awesome.
We definitely would
love to do it again.
Hell yeah, we got to get everyone else in on this. I think they'd like it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So one thing that I try to do as far as like group size in general goes is most of the time I aim for like groups of 4. I noticed work really good. Once we hit around like 5, 6, like in that area, sometimes it can get a little bit harder.
Chaotic.
Yeah, it's something where it's like I want to be inclusive and I want everyone to play, but at the same time, like I've done sessions for 7 people and it was horrible. The session was good, but the problem was it was 7 people, so all the different audio issues 7 people have, and yeah, it was a bit much. Like 7 was a much. Same with 6. 5 I think is manageable, but it's something where like I almost prefer like 4 or 3 because I can really picture people's characters. Turns don't take forever when there's like more allies and stuff like that. But yeah, awesome. I'm happy everyone had fun.
Oh, Tyson, you don't mind if we publish this as a podcast, do you?
Oh, you can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I just wanted to make sure that
I knew. I knew. It's always good to double check. Yeah. Like I try to do the same thing. Or sometimes a few things that we ended up recording, like I wouldn't remember to ask people until like right before. But fortunately, we don't usually try to do it unless it's groups that are totally cool with it. But yeah, I'm down. So yeah, I would say just like in the future, DM me whatever as far as like suggestions, because whether it's like a certain theme, a genre, a flavor, if we want gauntlets around us,
this game is really fun. It was really fun to play, and we really look forward to doing it again.
Yeah. I'm 100% down to do other sessions, different kinds of stuff. Any kind of suggestions any of you have, I can work with. Like, we can get wacky, specific, war games, role play, you name it.
Honestly, one of the things I thought was most fun, while I do get attached to my characters in the long form campaigns, it was kind of nice to build a character where it was like, just do what I need to do for the game, and if she dies, it's kind of funny and fun, or if she survives, that's another storyline it can take. It was kind of fun.
Exactly. That's like a big thing that I want with the system is that I notice sometimes people get like really, really attached to characters. I mean, I have too. Like, that's happened with me as well. But I like the idea of the more your character survives, you get even more attached to them. And then you make different builds. Like, oh, this is a stronger build. Oh, let me change these moves around. Let me make this do more damage. And kind of see, like, as they get stronger, go on new adventures. Yeah, that's like always been like important. Like, I like the idea of really big characters with all these big stories, like, needing to earn it, and I feel like that's like a cool way to do it. But yeah, does anyone have any specific suggestions as far as different theme, genre, anything like that for future sessions?
I don't have any suggestions, but and you probably haven't heard our previous channels for the last 2 years, especially when we had some other people running our game many years ago. But I actually bought your game. I did not pirate it. That's my seal of approval.
Awesome. Happy to hear it. That's great.
So, we'll let you know what thoughts we have for future games. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, with like Waterworld was Shannon's idea, and she forgot that we were playing Waterworld.
Anything with my character with water.
Yeah, it was something where I wanted to mess with like water and nautical themes, but not go hard Waterworld, especially with like wrestling elements. So I was trying to find a nice way to kind of mix together like messed up like dystopia, water society, sci-fi, like kind of working around with it. And yeah, almost anything.
I really liked it all.
Awesome. Yeah, with pretty much anything I run, I try to have it where multiple routes can happen. So I had it where there could have been up to 5 initial enemies in that first encounter, depending on the amount of players. If things went really well, then that would have gone to like this Ultima boss fight style thing. I try to have gauntlets usually structured like that, where depending on if people do like better or blow through stuff, or depending on like narrative choices or story options, like things can kind of change. And I try to have things be different enough. So like, I don't know, I just think it helps set up for a lot of interesting situations. Like this was like a much more basic gauntlet because I wanted to at least give a base idea, you know?
Working. And you know I'm looking.
I'm sorry.
I think the boss is in the room, so we might
She
have
is.
to wrap this up. Hi, Sophie.
All right, guys. So that was Kill Sector. Nick.
Arn.
Shannon.
Our special guest.
Tyson.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
All right.
Bye, Sophie.
Seriously, that was really, really fun. But I gotta go help put kids to bed, so bye,
All right, we'll see
guys.
Bye.
Good
See you later.
Guys.
Her presence fades with